Hey, here we are again, Bible Quiz Fellowship National Tournament Game Day! The live studio audience is still excited, even though this is the second take. All right, we're going to begin today as we wrap up Thursday and look towards Friday by talking about where we were right and where we were wrong. So, Austin, where you were right. I get to talk about you. And it turns out that you were right with your quiz prediction.
Thank you.
You predicted By Faith to beat Messengers and Warriors, and that's just what By Faith did. So, excellently done. And where you were wrong is that you completely forgot which quiz you predicted. And so you were way wrong about that, and we had to restart this video. All right. Any comments on all that?
I still correctly predicted the championship last year
Oh.
at Nationals.
Yeah, and I didn't remember that. When did you do it? Was that like Friday night?
Yeah, I think Friday night,
I
yeah.
think it was Saturday night.
Oh, you predicted you would win?
No, I predicted what three teams would be on stage on
Oh,
Friday night.
it was-
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yep.
Because you've seen that video like 200 times.
I have, yes.
All right.
Okay, so Nate.
Oh, no, Nate's up next. Nate, tell me where I was right and where I was wrong.
All right, so I was looking over the stats from today because I have access to like 2% of the stats that we have here. And one thing that I noticed that was a little bit problematic in some of your mentions last night was that you're talking about the teams from the East. And I think you left out a team that you should have really highlighted as being probably one of the most Eastern teams of all. So would you care to comment on that?
Yes. My greatest apologies go to New City Bible Quizzing. I'm a big fan of New City Bible Quizzing. You guys are great. I'm sorry I only had 20 seconds and I went to Illinois instead of New Jersey. So
Didn't get all the information we needed.
Yeah, can we challenge that? No.
Yeah.
I mean, at least
I feel pretty bad.
I went overtime a little bit on my answers, but at least I was complete and concise in all my.
Still an error.
Oh, all right. Well, besides that, I think there were some areas that perhaps you were right in what you were predicting yesterday, and I believe it was the matchup that you had predicted. Could you tell us a little bit about that matchup, what
Yeah.
went down there?
Well, I don't know too much about what went down except it was Sundown Warriors and 7-Up. I predicted Sundown to win, and Sundown won. You guys see that Sundown? There's some Sundown folks around. So, hey,
We had to pay them to come and watch, but
if I learned
we put
anything
a lot
from
of
watching
emphasis.
Sundown last year, it's don't count them out.
Yeah, that Kevin Geppert, he's a pretty good coach. He pays a lot of attention to detail, and he knows how to really motivate his quizzers.
And I feel like he almost practically invented the whole timeout, I'm switching my captain just to see how much time is left. I think that practically came from Kevin. And I honestly hate it a lot, but it works. So, okay.
All
So
right.
it'll work until I give him a technical foul.
Nate, as far as your prediction goes yesterday, you predicted that By Faith, Clay, and Zealous would quiz each other and By Faith would win.
I predicted they quizzed each other. That's all I did.
And you were right about
You were
that.
right about that, so that's where you were right about your predictions yesterday. They did quiz each other, miraculously. And unfortunately, you said By Faith would win, and Clay actually won that quiz. I think it was a very
At least from
close-
all reports.
From all reports, our sources
They're
tell
unnamed
us.
sources at this point.
Yes. So Clay did win that quiz. Our sources also tell us it was a very close quiz, which you said it would be. So you were right about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a very great day of predictions for you. You also said that all the averages would be very low this
Well,
tournament.
it's still early.
It is still early.
But it's not looking good.
It's not looking
for
good.
that
So
prediction.
far,
Actually, it is looking good, but not for your prediction.
Oh, yeah.
it is looking good.
Either way, I
Positive.
win.
Yeah.
We
All
have
right.
a quizzer.
Let's move on to one big thing.
Okay.
One big thing. Thank you for picking on Nate, though. I always appreciate that. Each of us are going to have one big thing that we're going to highlight from today's quizzing. So let's begin with Nate. What's your one big thing?
Well, just referencing what Austin just said about averages being a little bit high, one big thing that I would like to bring up today is a real shout out to Carissa Nelson on Team Revelation. I have some association with that team, allegedly, and she did very, very well today. She averaged over 100 points in quiz. She was just on fire, and I was just astounded by some of the things that she was able to pull off today. Some of those answers, some of those quotes, it was crazy. So I think big shout out should go to her. She really shined today, and I think she'll continue to shine throughout this tournament.
Okay, one big thing, Austin.
One big thing, usually it goes a lot later than this. Sometime in Friday, there's still a team that's undefeated in the tournament, and everybody's watching that team. This tournament, not so. No one has gone undefeated this tournament, not Revelation, not By Faith, not Clay. None of the big names that everybody would expect would go undefeated this tournament, and a lot of them haven't even quizzed each other that many times. The main credit to that goes to Dead BC, who beat Revelation and Riven this tournament on the very first day here. So that's very impressive. Shout out to them. Way to keep it undefeated, or not undefeated.
You know, I think that there's a good possibility of seeing some more upsets. You know, it's
Mhm.
that time of the year where you're going to see some upsets, and so both of those were great big things. I enjoyed watching Chris quiz today a couple times. It was great. My one big thing, maybe not that big of a thing, T-shirts you can't write on. How about that? Well, you can't write on. I just thought it was pretty amazing. But hey, I mean, everybody needs a black shirt now and then. You know, it's fashionable. Nate's bringing it back.
Sign
and
each
all that,
other's
so.
backs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Tomorrow's one big thing will be the outbreak of ink poisoning among wizards because they're all getting tattoos and stuff. All right. So yeah, that's our first segment. We'll see you back for our second segment.